Hi there, my name is Marley, and in this video I'm going to be doing a tarot reading that will recommend you a book to read. So basically I'm going to be showing 3 piles. You will choose whichever one is catching your attention and drawing you to it, and that will decide what your book recommendation will be. And I have to give a shout out to Errol Bissett, who originally did this video. That is where I got the inspiration from, as well as Charmed Intuition Tarot, which is one of the tarot reading channels that I watch. And another shout out goes to the deck I'm going to be using by Sasha Fenton. So without further ado, let's get into the reading. So first of all, you will see me shuffling the deck before I deal it out into 3 piles. Each pile will get 3 cards to help me decipher which book is being recommended to you. So here are piles 1, 2, and 3. Please take a moment to look over the piles, see which one is calling to you, and based on that, you can go to my description and pick on the timestamp for pile 1, 2, or 3, and that will be your reading. Hello, so this is your reading for pile 1. The first card that we see is the Sun, which is upside down, but you can see there is a sun with a person beneath it with sunflowers around them. The second card drawn is the 2 of Pentacles. The third card is Temperance, which has a woman pouring water from one urn to the other. So as you saw, your first card was the Sun in the reverse position, so upside down. Even upside down, this card can represent happiness and success, and it can also signify that a child is on the way. So initially, this card makes me think that you should read a book that has to do with children or babies, and that's sort of like one of the main focuses of the book. The next card that we saw was the 2 of Pentacles. This card represents having a lot of different priorities that you need to balance and that you need to adapt to a change, such as a divorce or a separation. This is not as happy as a card to get, so I feel like the overall tone of your book could be sad, and it could be dealing with something like divorce within a family. We saw that there are children involved from your first card, so maybe it's a family and they're going through a divorce. Your last card is Temperance. This card is about peace and relaxation, so more of a positive card to get. It's also described as finding a middle path, so not necessarily getting everything that you want, but that you are still managing to get by. In relation to your other cards, I feel like this represents the family getting through whatever it is they're going through, potentially the divorce, and learning to accept the changes that they're going through. So the book that I feel your cards are describing is Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. This is about a family, but specifically the main character named Merit is a teenage girl going through a lot. She's struggling with depression, along with a lot of family issues, such as her parents being divorced, her dad is with a new woman, and they have a small child together, whereas she already has some existing siblings from her father's first marriage with her mother, which is a twin sister and a brother. So it's a very big cast of characters, a big family, and they are dealing with a lot. So I think this fits the cards that you got pretty well, and I think what you must be craving right now is some sort of family drama. So whether that's Without Merit or something else, that is what I would recommend to you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your tarot reading for what book you should read next. I hope you will subscribe so you can see when I do more of these in the future, and bye! Hello group 2, it is time for your tarot reading. So first up, you have the Page of Pentacles, which is upside down. We see the page, which is a young boy reading. The second card that you have is the World, where you see a woman in a circle, and all around her are the different astrological signs. And the third card that you have is the Page of Cups. Again, we see the young page with a cup and with some paint. And this was upside down. So for your reading, as you saw, your first card was a Page of Pentacles. In the reverse position, this card represents greed and laziness, and more specifically, trouble for a young person. This seems pretty general so far, but I'm thinking your book will have to do with some trouble going on with some teenagers or maybe some children. So like a lot of books. The next card we have is the World. As you could probably guess, this card represents a completion or coming full circle with something and being fulfilled. So probably that something is coming to an end, but not necessarily in a bad way. It could mean that, you know, there's some new things on the horizon because one journey is ending, another will begin, sort of thing. I'm feeling like your book is probably about the end of a school year, maybe the end of high school or college, or some big life moments like that. And your final card is the Page of Cups. Upside down, this card shows immaturity and disappointment, and more specifically, if someone is going through studies, then they're going to go through a hard time with that. So maybe your characters aren't going to pass school or something like that. This reading wasn't quite as clear to me, so what I'm going to recommend to you is overall one author, and that is going to be John Green. He writes a lot of books, or all of his books are about young people, specifically teenagers, going through some sort of turmoil or life-changing events. So that is what really entered my mind as I was going through these cards. Specifically, the best books by him I would recommend would be The Fault in Our Stars and Looking for Alaska, in my opinion, but also his newest one I believe is Turtles All the Way Down, which is also a great book. And to go with your card, The World, I feel like in all of his books the characters really come for a full circle and learn something and, you know, move on to a different stage of their lives. So that is why I think you should be reading John Green. So thank you, Group 2. Hopefully you agree with your reading and you enjoy some John Green books. I hope you will subscribe for more tarot readings from me. Take care! Hello, if you chose pile 3, here is your reading. Welcome. So the first card that you got was the 7 of Cups. As you can see, it's a bunch of cups flowing into each other, many different paths for the water. The second card is the Knight of Wands in the reverse position. You see a knight. And then we have the 8 of Wands, which shows a long path to follow. So let's get into the meanings. As you saw, 7 of Cups is your first card. As it shows, this is about having multiple paths and about making a choice of which one to go down. It can also be a very spiritual and daydreamy card. So this makes me sense that your book might be a fantasy and it might take place with some sort of adventure going on. Your next card, Knight of Pentacles, is the Knight of Wands. In reverse, this card's quite negative. It represents anger and recklessness. And more specifically, there could be a man that lets you down. No surprise, really. Or there may be some other things that aren't followed through. Your third and final card is another wand. It is the 8 of Wands. This is a bit more positive. It means there is action happening and a lot of quick thinking. It can also represent traveling and having new experiences with friends or finding love. So while these cards are a bit general, I did still have that vibe of fantasy and adventure. So what I was drawn to recommending to you is the Ink World series. So the first book's Ink Heart, then Ink Spell and Ink Death. This is a bit of an older series, but a classic. It is about a girl named Maggie and her father, I think his name was Mo, who have the ability to bring characters out of books and in return also have real people go inside of books. So in the first book, the father had read out a few book characters, one of which being the villain. So they have to try to defeat the book villain that is here in the real world, and they're trying to save the mother who was brought into the book. Because whenever characters come out of the book, then people have to go in. It's like a swap. And the series just progresses from there. There's a lot of adventure, a lot of different characters, so you see those friendships and those romances. So I really think that fits the cards that were chosen for you. So that is the end of your reading. Hopefully you enjoy reading the book that was recommended to you, and I hope you will subscribe for more. Let me know if you like these tarot reading videos videos. I've done one before where I recommended a TV show to watch. I'm thinking maybe next I will recommend a movie, but let me know if you think this is just stupid. I think it's fun and I like watching these types of videos, so hopefully you guys do too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!